evening. What do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
John, you're my main target this evening because you got me on to doing this. Okay, so tonight's performance is going to be about the Rank Fortress location plugin. Okay, and one, how to get your Google API key, because you're going to need to use it or put it into the settings within the plugin. And yeah, I think we'll start there, John. That's what you were asking me to do a little earlier today. Yes?
Yes, that was the most difficult part.
Okay,
of
so
getting this plugin to work.
This documentation, by the way, the link will be, it's a public link anyway. Anybody can go and look at it if they want to. Okay, so you can, you would normally start here. Okay, from his knowledge base, just go and have a look at the plugin documentation first. Okay, and read it. Okay, because it'll tell you how to download it, how to install it, blah blah blah, how to put your license key in, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so it's a good little document. Okay, but there are a few things that I feel overall need tweaking a little bit. Okay, so I've done that, and I've shown John again yesterday, I believe, John. I showed you how we get the results and make them unique so they become even better for you, really. So, like I said, part of this will be to get your Google Maps API, okay? And Rank Fortress has a document also available online if you want to, like, go and create a Google Maps key, okay? Now, it's a little bit on this document, okay? The Navigate to Google Maps platform, okay, not many people, I would have made that much more. Navigate to Google, I would have made that much more prominent on the document, that's all, okay? But if you click on this, okay, it will open up the Google platform, okay, exactly as he says it should. And I'm going to open this back up so we can make comparisons with what's in the documentation and what is there in real life, okay? So you first need to go to the Google Maps platform. That opens up like this, and he says in his documentations, okay, go to the Get Started button, which is this one, okay? You can click it, and it will, if you've got a Google account, because you need to be signed into a Google account, okay, to use Google Maps, okay? So get yourself into a Google account to do it, all right? And this is where you end up on the Maps platform, okay? And it's going to ask you what country you're in. So put your country in, okay? And then it says what best describes your organizational needs, okay? So for me, I'm going to say I'm a small company, okay? So I'm going to agree to this. Would you like to no, I don't want to receive email updates on Google Cloud. Okay, so just terms of service and continue. And then we'll get through to here. Okay, now it's going to ask you for a telephone number, okay? Because it's going to text you with a 6-digit code, okay, to verify the account, all right? Now, I've done this already, okay? But let's, I don't even have my phone on me, but I've already placed my phone number. You send the code, okay? It'll come through on your mobile phone. Pick up the code and place it in the verification box that comes after this. Let's see if I can actually get this to work. Because I've used this telephone number for other accounts as well. So let's see if we can get it, and I'll go and grab my phone quickly. If it does come through. Okay, now it's going to ask you for the code. So I'm going to take a look on my phone. 1 second, I've got to go run and get it. Okay, and in the time it took me to get my phone, Google has now sent me the verification code. So I'm just going to open it up. Okay, and the code they're asking for is And then we verify it. And the next step in this process, believe you me, they're going to want to know more about you, okay? And they'll also want you to add your credit or debit card number, okay? Now, when I get you, the account type normally comes up as business. We advise you, okay, make yourself an individual, okay? Because then all the tax information and stuff is personal. Then you just fill out your information here, put the phone number if you want to. It says how you pay. It'll always be monthly automatic payments, but as you can see, you get $300 of credit for free that you can spend over the next 90 days, okay? But if you're only using it for, you know, not heavy traffic sites, okay, then you'll hardly ever spend a penny on this, okay? So like it says, add a debit or credit card, okay, but when you click the start the free trial, it's now going to ask you for your card numbers, etc., okay? Once all this is done and they've accepted your card number, and I'm not going to fill this one out because I've got one already with the card details filled out, and I'm going to switch across to that account now, okay? And no, that's not it. My goodness, where am I? I've lost myself. Oh, over here. There we go. Let me agree and continue over here. And actually, I think this has clicked across. No, it stayed in the right one. Okay. So once you've got you put your billing details in. Okay. Well, normally where you'll end up is in the overview area. Okay. And then you want your APIs. Yeah. Oh, first of all, it's going to force you to make a project, but we've already kind of got a project set up called My First Project. Okay. There's no need for you to do anything else. All right. So these are all the map APIs you can select. And to be honest with you, I believe William suggests 4 of them. I'm just going to check on his documentation. Down here somewhere, how to activate license settings. You're going to need a GPI key. And actually, it's not even in that section of it at all. Okay, it's in a different section in here. And I think he says generate your API. And where is it in this documentation? I did read it somewhere that you needed 4 of them. Oh, actually 5 of them. Okay, do you see them here? Again, dug a little bit deep into it. Okay, but they said 5. Okay, well, to be honest with you, when we first set it up, we didn't even look at the documentation. We just went, okay, we're going to try and break it. Isn't that right, Monet? Okay, so what we actually do, okay, on our Google Maps platform, oh, wrong one, of course, because I went to the different account. We just pretty much switched them all on apart from 2, okay? The 2 that we do not turn on is the SDK for Android and the SDK for iOS. All the other ones you enable, okay? So you just...
Oh, unless you're going to be setting up an app, but yeah, most people won't be setting up an app.
No, you won't, okay? So we just switch them all on, okay? And to be honest with you, I've looked at the usage. Some of the ones that are not mentioned actually get used by the plugin, okay? So hang on, did I click that? There we go. So this is what will happen when you click on one of these APIs. It'll go around in circles for Christ knows how long, especially on my machine. Okay.
So David, I'd like to ask a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I went in and did the 4 or 5 that you showed.
Yeah.
So can I just go in, just click on my API and then enable the other ones, and it will go to the same API key that I.
Yes, as long as you're in the same project, then yes, you can just go and activate the others, and it'll start working.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
That's the way to do it. Now, unfortunately, this, I think, because I've been switching through accounts here, this is not going to work. So I'm going to try and find my actual one if I can. And it's here. Okay, so this, I'm in my usage at the moment, but you can go into your library. Yeah. This is the library.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And everything for maps will be here. Okay, so you view all 15. This is the quickest way of doing it. View all 15. Okay, so there's 15 to choose from. Like I said, we do not choose this one. Okay, and we do not choose this one. Although William only advises 5 within his documentation. So you could just activate those 5. But I can pretty much guarantee you that you need this Maps JavaScript API. Okay, and you can see that mine is already enabled. Yeah. So if it's not enabled, it'll be grayed out, and you just click on enable, and away it goes and starts enabling all of these different ones. Okay, so like I said, 2 that we stay away from: the SDK for Android, SDK for iOS. You can turn everything else on. A lot of it you're not going to use. Okay, but it's no harm turning them on within the project that you're working in. Okay, so if we go back to our API, I don't want to go to the API library. I want to go back to where I was, to the cloud platform. Okay, back here. Okay, now, whatever project you're in, okay, you must have a billing account for. Okay, if you don't have the billing account switched on, okay, nothing will work. Okay. So you must have a billing account associated with the project that you're working in. All right? Because otherwise it just won't work. So you'll be able to set everything up with your billing right at the beginning, where I said to you, look, you enter your credit card details on it. Billing will then be attached to your project. Okay? And if it isn't, you will get a notification up in the top end of this screen to tell you exactly that. No billing account is associated with this project. Okay, and you will need that billing account, 100%. You may not be billed anything for it, or if your site is really, really successful, then you may be billed some for it. And that's as simple as I can be with the APIs. Any question regarding that? Yeah. So like I said, when you make your account, you're going to have a billing account. APIs are all here. Okay. And this is my full APIs. This is everything. Okay. And you can see everything that's running. So you can see how many requests I've made on the places, the geocoding, the JavaScript, directions, and time zone. These are the 5 that are actually looks like it's running. Everything else gets left alone. But like I said, we switch them on. All right. So that's about as much as I can tell you about the Google APIs and how to get it. Okay. But now we're going to actually take a look.
Can you show us?
Yeah,
Can you show us where you get? Can you show us where you get the key?
Get the key. Sorry. Yes. Okay. So the keys are normally held in credentials. Okay. And you can see my API key here. Okay. And there's my key dotted out. And I can just copy API key.
Cool.
Yes.
David, also, could you go ahead and hit the edit pencil? I want to show you something.
That might show my key, and I don't want to do that.
Okay, because there's a.
Well, let me see. I might be able to. Okay, let's do
you
it.
can. It's safe. It's safe, David.
Okay, let's do it.
Because you've set restrictions on there anyway.
Yes, I have. Okay, so
There's
the key. All right. So here's where you have the restrict key. There are 12 APIs restricted. Okay. If you don't have them restricted, Google tends not to allow you to play with maps. Okay. So we've already restricted all of ours as well.
Okay, and then there's one other point. Go up a little bit, and you have hit none. And most recently, I put in a support ticket, and they said to not hit the HTTP. Do not hit that, but hit the none. Yeah. And that's what you want. And that is because they're having a little bit of trouble that they're working on.
Yes.
Well, mine is already set to none, thank goodness.
Yes.
All right. So there we go. So then you can save it. You can make another API key if you wish. It's not difficult to do. You just need a different project to do it with. Or you can, I don't know if you can regenerate them. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. I'm going to say you can't right now. But there you go. And that's the project we used it on. Okay, this is a new site that we specifically put together just to be able to run the plugin and do everything else with it. Okay. Install the plugin like you would any other plugin. Okay. The instructions are in the documentation anyway. Okay. So it's easy enough to install it. And then all you get is this rank fortress in the left-hand side. This is where you would need to add your license. Okay. That is given to you by Rank Fortress. Now, I believe currently that a license for 25 sites, I believe, is $97 a month. Okay. Now, if you're hooked into that deal, okay, you will have to pay it forever. Okay. No ifs, no buts, no maybes. You'd have to do it. Okay. Because as soon as you stop paying, the license gets deactivated and Rank Fortress plugin doesn't work anymore. Okay. Now, some people have gone in with Rank Fortress for their huge GMB bundle, lifetime something or other. That currently costs about $1,500. If you've got that kind of money, go ahead, take that deal, because at $97 to buy the plugin and a further $97 a month for using the plugin, I find it a little bit extortionate, even with a 25 site license, because most people that won't even run 25 sites. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the only drawback on cost wise. But the plugin's there, it sits there. And what this Rank Fortress side here, this is really just an introduction to William Jones, tells you all about himself and blah, blah, blah. License down here, but this is where all the fun takes part. This is where the settings are for these things called neighborhoods. Okay, and I'm going to take you into my settings. Okay. So these are currently the available shortcodes that you can do. Okay. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them.
You maybe want to start with where you put your API key in, David, before you get to all the settings.
Well, that's actually in this part, the settings area. Okay. Yeah, true. Well done, Monet. Thank you for pointing that out. So yes, ignore the shortcodes, because without the settings, your shortcodes aren't going to work that good anyway. Okay. So these are the settings. This is for that neighborhood shortcut that we saw just a minute ago. Okay. Now you could, if you're working specifically within one city, okay, you can place your city here. Okay. And it should appear in everything that you do with the plugin. Should appear. Okay. Now neighborhoods, there's a limit. I think Google Maps has a limit of 60 neighborhoods. I've got mine set to 50 neighborhoods because I want to see 50 results come back if I can. Okay. And I always sort them randomly. Okay. So these are the back end settings. Okay, there are settings that you can change in the shortcodes themselves that'll override these guys. Okay, and it tells you here. See that? Okay. So that's the neighborhood ones. These are activities, right? This is like, well, exactly these kind of activities. Okay. Tourist attractions. We've got tourist attractions. We've got shopping malls, restaurants, nightclubs, and movie theaters in our places. Okay. Again, I like to randomize it up, and I normally limit it to 6. Okay. Now this radius bit that's down here confuses the crap out of me. Okay. Because I don't understand what the 50,000 means. Is it miles? Is it kilometers? Is it feet? Is it inches? We don't know what value that should be. Okay. So I've set my radius at 10. To be honest with you, it seems to do a large enough radius for what I want. Okay. But I don't know what values these are. John, do you have any idea? Because I haven't seen it in the documentation either.
No, I don't, but I do have a comment on the places type.
Yes.
What I want everyone to know is that when you get the plugin is preset. And David, you showed me the other day, for instance, I like the idea of the tourist attraction, but I don't know where you showed me the shortcodes for that places type are.
Well, that's not too bad because it's at the end of this here. You can refer to this link. Okay. And if I open it in a new tab, it will take you over here. And these are the supported place types that you can use in Google Maps.
Right. And so I just want everybody to know when I first did it, and I'm laughing at myself, the things to do, it brought up like
you ended up with bakery, didn't you?
Yeah, bakeries.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that you could get these shortcodes and then put them in comma delineated after each and every one.
Well,
and,
again,
the randomize is,
sorry, John, but it's a matter of just reading. Okay, like I said, when we set this up, we didn't use any documentation, so we were totally and utterly controlled by the plugin itself. Okay, so it does say here separate types with commas without spaces. It'd be nice if we had a little box over here somewhere that would give you those things, but he did give you a link.
Yes.
So this is where you grab it, and to be honest with you, you can grab whatever you want. Okay, depending on what kind of niche you're in, etc. But I thought tourist attraction would be the best one for me to use. But I added some others, but we got bad news on that one. We'll tell you in a little bit. Okay. So location information. This is, like I said, this is the sentence limit. This is actually for like the about us information. That's what it should be about because it comes out as about. Okay, so that's the number of sentences you want them to talk about the city or area that you're trying to put onto your page. Google Maps, again, you see I've left my cities wide open, okay, because I want to be able to control that within the shortcodes. Okay, zoom level, we settled on number 9 because it gives you the best results. Really, we tried 8, it was too close, wasn't it, Monet?
Yeah.
And 9 just give you a little bit better. Okay, you can set your map height. I've set mine to 600 high. Okay, so you get a decent height, and this is where you place your Google Map API. Okay, within the settings. All right, and that is in the documentation. Okay, you put your Google API in, you can see mine's done, it's already done. You can also get an open weather API. Okay, I haven't bothered with the weather API, I don't think I need it, but you can open an account with open weather, follow the documentation, and again, it's some kind of API key. We haven't done that, and I'm not going to cover it tonight. Okay. So those are our settings. This is exactly how we set things up. Okay. We haven't touched the design at all. Okay. We haven't touched this at all. We haven't made font sizes. You can do all sorts of different things if you want to. We haven't done so. Okay. before we go back to the shortcodes, we'll also go to the tools section. There is a tool, okay, theoretically, that should work in here. Now, I'll be shocked as there we go. Okay, so this page can't load Google Maps correctly. Okay, so I can't use it. Did you go in and check yours, John?
No, I did not.
Go and check your tools section. Okay, for me it doesn't work. I don't know why it doesn't work, because we've got every single API revved up, ready to go, but it will not work here, unfortunately, for us. So to find it, okay, to get, because some of you're going to need certain things, okay, out of this tool, and you've got to use this. It says use this tool to get the place ID and lat long of a location of business establishment. You need to use this for reviews shortcode, and that's true, but I can't get it to work. So I did a search for this, I believe. I just did a search on Google. This is what I did. I'm sure that's what I did. Let's just check it. And there it is. See it here? So this is get an address for a place ID. Okay. So you can actually click on this link. Again, it'll open up. Okay. Okay. So that's get an address for a place ID. Actually, I think I clicked the wrong one. I do apologize. Where is the one that I used? Geocoder. I think it might be that one, actually. Place ID geocoder. There we go. So it's going to now ask me for a place to put in here, enter the location, right? Now, if it was, you can actually put either your client's name in here, okay, or you can actually put an address. You can put anything. So let me think of one. Oh yeah. Okay, so this is somebody else's client. It's not one of mine, but I'll use it as an example. So you can actually go and find, okay, later on you're going to use it in the shortcode, okay. You can go and find, and here it is. Here's the place ID right here, okay, and this is in Google's own, because like I said, I can't get it to work inside here for some weird unknown reason. Okay, so just go here, you'll find your place ID, okay. And I think there was another thing that we needed to do as well. Let me just have a look at the settings. Actually, for the place ID. Oh, and the latitude and longitude. Yeah, well, you can get the latitude and longitude by just clicking. Oh, well, actually, the easiest. Oh, damn. I did that wrong. I do apologize. If we go to, let's just go to maps. Sugar. Come on, let's just go to maps. Okay, Google Maps. Actually, I should have gone to google.co. Okay, we'll go to, no, I should have gone to .com. Let's go in here. And then do the same thing. Okay, you can put dump my junk, select the one you want, okay? And up here, you will get the latitude and longitude of your client that you want to play with. That's the manual way of doing it. It's supposed to work within the plugin. It doesn't work within the plugin for me at all, which is a little bit disappointing. Okay, so that's the manual way of doing it. You can go to Google to get the place ID, okay, and you can actually go and visit the maps of whoever you want, and you can whop the, here we go, that's the coordinates for this company. Okay, so now we can go back to shortcodes. Okay, should we do an example with the shortcodes as they are here? Should we do that first?
I think it would be very helpful.
Just for fun. Okay, we've already created a couple. Okay, but let's see if we can find some posts. I'm going to open it up in a new tab so we can get the posts so we don't lose any of this detail. To be honest with you, I'd probably put that on a worksheet so I could just copy and paste it across. Now, what I was a bit surprised with, okay, is that because you can set the settings in this section, okay, it doesn't really, once you save the settings, okay, that you have, when you go into the shortcodes, it doesn't reflect the same code inside here. Okay, these shortcodes don't reflect what is in these settings. It should, okay, but it doesn't, because in here it's got about New York City. Mine's empty, so that should be empty for me to fill out, but it isn't. Okay, so that's another little annoyance for me. But
David, I actually had a look at that. What you can do is you can just use that first part of the shortcode and leave out all the settings. Then it pulls your default settings.
Use what?
So if you just use that first part of the shortcode.
Which bits?
The first bit, that bit, yes. So if you just use that, then it actually uses your settings.
Does it? But without all, this is how we can play with the settings.
So if you don't put all those settings in, then it will use your defaults.
Okay, that's quite cool, Monet. Good find, dude. You've been playing behind my back there. Look. Okay, so yeah, well, we can test that if you want. We'll go to posts. Let's find one if we've got one that's.
Yeah, but remember, you haven't saved any default settings.
Yes, I have. Oh, yes, I have.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
There's no city there.
No, I don't put the city in.
Yeah, that's why I say. So you haven't actually got all your default settings, so it might not quite work.
You'd want me to put the city in for me to use it that way. Well, no, it's no good for me because I go all over the US, so I don't want the cities. Okay, so okay, you're right. Okay, now I'm just going to hold my head in shame.
These settings you can use to override the default settings that you've got.
Yeah.
So if your default setting is New York, and then when you get this one, you can choose a different city.
Yeah, but again, when it says available shortcodes, right? Okay, and it gives you all this detail, right? That's what people are. That's what people are going to use.
Correct.
So it should have the other version, the short version, if you've put everything in the settings.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's another little pet peeve. But there we go. This is why oh, okay. So here it is. You mean here? This one.
Yeah. So that's basically that same setting, or that same shortcode, just where you put in the settings yourself.
But without the settings. Okay. Well, I'm not going to put the settings in right now. I'm going to use the whole shortcode because obviously I'm going to pick a post that is nowhere near me. So I want to put stuff in and probably give people a little bit of what they can put inside these shortcodes. So this one here, this is somebody else's. Okay, let's use this one. Okay, so this is a Long Island limo service. And we're just going to go in and edit the post, okay? Now, all I'm going to do is go right to the bottom of the post, right, in text mode, okay? Not in visual mode, in text mode. That's what I do. Go right to the bottom of the post, okay, and start adding in shortcodes. Okay, so we'll do it my way because then I only got to show it once, okay? So if you've put all the settings in the settings area with the city and you're only going to concentrate on one city, great, leave it and just take whatever settings you've got. but I swear to God, you're going to enjoy it more when you can fine tune it a little bit using these shortcodes. Okay, so let's go and grab them, and we're going to put them into the post. Right, just a simple copy and paste. Then I normally give myself a line gap. Okay, and we'll take the next one. And then we'll take them all in and get it done. Just to show you. You have a lot more control, by the way, if you use these longer shortcodes overall. That's what I found anyway. So, okay, Google Map. Okay. Copy that.
Opening maps.
Oh, can you hear my phone now opening maps? Would you believe? Don't listen. Right, there's 4 of them. Let's bring them all in so you can all see what these things do.
Did you get the directions to work?
Nope.
Okay.
That's why I'm just showing everybody what they're going to get.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so it's by manipulating it by hand, if you make sense. I'm doing this a little bit manually. Okay, so those are the 6 bits that you can use within the plugin. Okay, have I put all 6 in? Yes, I have. Okay, and currently this is about New York City. Okay, you can put in any title you like in here, to be honest with you. Okay, and if it's a page like this one, which is about limo services, okay, then we would change it to, you know, well, initially New York City, but really we want Long Island, New York City. So this has got New York City, New York. We might be able to tweak this in a minute. So let's just update this. Actually, let's go and see the post before I update it. Actually, all we're going to do is use the preview changes, because I want to show you guys that how we do things off the preview page. So we've got to just go wait. This is the preview one. It should say pling preview ID blah blah blah. Okay, so now right at the bottom of the post we should have all the shortcodes working. Not that, we've covered that. Okay, everything to there is all ours, covered with a really long article. And from here on, so you can see this is about New York City, and it tells you about the city of New York, and then it gives you about 60 sentences. Yeah. Tells you the area, the local time, who the mayor is, and what the population is. Okay. It also gives you now neighborhoods in New York, Yorkville, Williamsburg, blah, 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 all these. Okay. Now, I've already spotted something that here, do you see this? This New York City Insider Guide. Okay. Well, I don't think that's actually an area. It's actually a company. Or I'm sure it is. We'll just check it. Okay. Definitely not. Here we go. It's actually a GMB for the New York City Insider Guide. So it's actually pulling in, okay,
Yeah,
details you don't really
in
want.
there.
Okay. Same with, I don't know, is NoHo an area of New York? Anybody know?
I think it is.
Okay, well, fair enough. But we would have to go through.
That is an odd name for a neighborhood.
It is NoHo, yes.
Yeah,
Neighborhood Restore. I don't know what
it's-
this is. This is probably another company, I would have thought. Neighborhood Restore. Is that a net? No. It's a non-profit organization. Okay, so again, it's not really, because they're near Yankee Stadium, etc., Harlem, Washington Heights. So again, it's pulling in information that is not really going to help you. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Mhm.
And the second thing is, okay, if you're doing a lot of work in the New York City area, okay, every time you use the plugin with this, okay, it's going to bring in this same information again and again and again and again and again on every single neighborhood in New York that you make a page for. So it would bring in the same information for Harlem as it would bring in for Washington Heights. So for me, that becomes a little bit of a footprint, a bit of duplicate content. Okay. So we pretty much cheat with this lot. Okay. You've seen me open up the page. Okay. You see me open it up in preview. Okay. But we cheat. We take this about information. We take all these things. Okay. I'm going to call them things. They're supposed to be neighborhoods, but not all of them are. Okay. So we just copy this lot. I'm hoping I copied it. Knowing my dodgy mouse, we probably didn't. So I'm going to copy this. Okay. I'm going to go back into the edit the post. Again, go to the bottom of it. Okay. And we're not obviously going to use this shortcode and this shortcode anymore because I don't think they're going to do us any favors. Okay. So I'm going to go in across to the visual and I'm going to paste in what we picked up from the preview page. Just paste it in. Yeah. So we still got the same information. Everything's still there. Okay. All the links are still there. Okay. But they are now hard coded. And what that allows us to do for something like this piece of 60 sentences here, okay, is stop it being a problem. Okay. So again, we'll copy it. And what we always do is we use, I'm actually in the wrong one, so I'm going to have to come over here to use it. Sorry about this. We actually use Quillbot, okay, to rewrite it for us. Yes? Why isn't that? Come on. There we go. So my account should be here now. There we go. It's open. Right. So, yeah, I normally use the formal one. Okay. I use the synonyms at 2 clicks, not 3. Okay. Paste the text in. You can see it all there. Just click paraphrase. Let Quillbot do its thing. Ding, 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 ding. And there we go. It's done, you know, because this little symbol changed from a keyboard to copy. Okay. So click on it to copy it. Take it back to where you want to go. And where are we playing now? Here. Okay. And we can actually overwrite all of that. Okay. And now it's better and more. Actually, I think I did that twice. I think I did that twice. So let's paste the fresh bit in. Oh, no, I didn't. Damn. Messed that up. Sorry, guys. But you get what I'm saying, yeah? Rewrite it for sure. Okay? But like I said, I should really take all of this information again because I went and did a silly thing and overwrote it. So let me paste that in there, which it does. Let me highlight that. Take my little bit of code again from Quillbot. Go back to where I was. Paste that little bit in. Okay. And then you can update. Okay. So we know that's nice and unique. Okay. I don't really want to leave the local time. Okay. Now, if you're using the plugin, it will update dynamically. Great. Okay. Absolutely great. But once you've hard coded it, there's no point you in using it, to be honest with you. So I would remove that. Okay, everything else can stay there. It's even got this Bill de Blasio, which is a Wikidata thing. So you've already got an external link going to a nice authority site just there. Yeah. Now, all of these other links, okay, here, now we can start messing about with it. I'd have to go and check. I don't know too much about New York City, but I know that neighborhood restore can bugger off. Okay, don't want it. It's gone. Yeah. And we did have another one somewhere. Where was? Oh, look. I don't know what this FIPS neighborhoods. That could be something. NoHo might be one. That's what I was told. Soho is over there, but NoHo can't be. Can it?
Yeah, they're neighborhoods. NoHo's the opposite of Soho in New York City.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, so
The insider guide, David.
oh yeah, where is that insider guide? Which I'm looking insider guide. Come on. Oh, there.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can actually take that out as well. All right, just get rid of it. Okay, but I would personally, just to get things absolutely right, okay, go and check all of these manually to make sure they were actually districts, because I know nothing about New York. If you're working in New York, great. If you're working in Phoenix, great. You'll know the area. If you're working in Tampa and you know the area, great. I don't. I would have to go and manually check all of these. But I take out anything that's going to cause me crap. Okay. So now we'll update this.
Okay, I'll be there in just a few minutes.
There we go, update it. So now I can preview the changes, which makes the changes actually live on here. And all you'll see in the difference really in what comes on the screen is that, yeah, I took out that local time. Yeah. This is now all unique. These are now all going, well, all of these go to Google Maps really for all the areas that you want to cover. Yeah. And then, yeah, it's trying to find something here. I don't know what it's trying to find or why it's not working. Okay. As it were. Oh, that's because we've, look how many districts. Do you see if you use it regularly? Okay. If you don't tweak it, do you see how many, all of these pictures and stuff? Did you see how long it took to load? It will slow your page down so badly, okay, that you'll run into problems. So again, tweak things manually. All right, go back into the text side, go down to tweak it. Okay, and this is this one here. Do you see it? Things to do in New York, limit 30. Nah, we're going to limit it to 9. Sort descending. Don't. Put in RND, which stands for random. Okay. So now when we update this and show you how that manipulated that piece of the plugin, we just got to wait for it to update. Then we can preview the changes. Okay, preview the changes. Okay, so we're going to hang around in the same place. And here it comes. So now when we go down here, should only have 9 places trying to load. It's still trying to load. I'm running a bit slow as well. But it has still is it trying to load 30 again?
What's happening is that you didn't put the CID in for the last code.
I didn't put the what one?
All the way to the bottom.
What, this?
Right there.
No. We're actually playing with this one right now, John. We're actually playing with the things to do in New York. Well, it has come up with 9 now. It took a little bit of time to come through. Okay. So 9 is what we do. We try and mix it up a little bit. But as you can see, okay, even though we've got 5 categories to go and look for in our settings, it's only using one, and that is tourist attractions, the first one on the list. You'd think it'd go and have a look at all 5 and choose 9 random ones from there. It doesn't. It uses the first one on your list. And I think that's exactly what you found, John, wasn't it? Because you had bakery at the front and it showed you all the bakeries.
I've got like 12 bakeries, but I'm surely going to go in and change that.
Okay, now, further manipulation of this, things to do in New York, okay? Because currently the location is New York City. That's it, okay? Now, we might be able to, I haven't really tried this, but the Bronx is in New York City, right? Yes?
Yep.
So we can do Bronx, comma, New York City in there. And let's see if we get tourist attractions closer to the Bronx. I think we should. Let me update it. I did test this, by the way, for another location, actually in Australia, and it did exactly that. It went and found tourist attractions closer to that location. So let's see if it'll do it this time. I don't know if it will. I do apologize for my broadband speed, guys and girls, but I have to live with what we get. So it's still looking for the 9 locations. It's made the space for it. Come on. I'm running really slowly. Let's go down a little bit and go back up to it. Come on. Come on.
That's because you're recording and on Zoom and
yes, I get it. But do you see how it's now changed? Yeah. It's now come up with the Bronx Museum of Arts. Yeah. These are closer to the Bronx than just using the general New York City. Make sense? So if you're like, I can now maybe try instead of the Bronx, because this is about Long Island. Yeah. Let's see if I can get Long Island. I hope you're enjoying messing about with me here, guys, because this is how we learn stuff. Okay. So we'll update it again. I'm hoping this will work. If it doesn't, then we just go and reset it again. We did the update. Okay, preview the changes again. And let's see if it'll show us anything in the Long Island, New York City. Okay, again, guys, sorry about the cogs that are going to be running down here. This is simply me, okay? But 9 normally works perfectly okay when I'm not sharing screens, not recording, etc., 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 okay? So we'll just wait for it to come up. And hopefully it'll pick something up in Long Island. Let's see if it did. You guys know anything about Long Island? Brooklyn Bridge, is that anywhere near it? I don't know.
You know, I think Long Island is referred to as Long Island, New York, not New York City.
Is it?
And I'm wondering if the plugin only uses the first one listed.
Well, let's find out. Okay, we'll take the city off. Okay.
Yes.
An update. But like I said, I have found that it still works this way, and it does get us closer. To be honest with you, I've used 3 in here. Okay, to get the place I wanted in Australia, I had to use the city. No, not the city. The neighborhood, the city, and the country to get the results I needed. So we've done that. Okay, let's go and have a look at the results on that. And again, sorry about the cogs, guys and girls. Well, no girls in here tonight, I don't think. But while that's coming up, now you can see what the other shortcodes do. Okay, this puts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, it's put 7 in here. Or Westbury Gardens, things to do in New York, Gateway National. Well, that's just picking up exactly what we've got in, I would have said, in the 9 which are coming up. I'm just guessing. Come on. But I don't see any point of this Google map, to be honest with you. I really don't. I could do things manually, and we'll show you very, very quickly shortly that that's exactly what I do. Okay. Location, address. Oh, okay. Yes. This is coming off the last one where we've got to put the location and address in. Did you bring those 9 up? Here we go. I would say these are more like Long Island stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, obviously. So yeah, playing with these shortcodes, okay, can give you better results than just relying on the general settings within the plugin. Okay. So like I said, this map here, this is a location. It says the location is New York City. Again, we could probably do Long Island in New York City. Okay. It's looking at the neighborhoods that we're pulling in, but we're not pulling in any neighborhoods, so it's not going to do it. But the activities, which is this lot here, okay, it is pulling in. Okay. So it's got the 7 main ones or whatever it might be within that. This is supposed to give me driving directions, okay? And I have never seen it do so. Okay? It's supposed to give us driving directions in this Google map. I've not seen it yet, to be honest with you. Okay? I'm not entirely happy with what it's doing there. Okay? So the city New York address pins equals, oh yes, we need the address for it to do the directions one. Just a second. What address shall we use in New York City? Let's see if we've got an address anywhere here. Might have to go and get it. Right, it's going through to here. I don't think there's even an address in here. Or is
Actually, you can go back to where you were.
Okay, here we go.
And,
We can use this. We'll use this one. So that should give me some kind of driving directions once you paste your address in there. So let me just delete that. Put a space in. I think that should have a comma in. Personally, so I'm going to put it in. There we go. United States, done, pin, and it says pins equals 5. I've never had anything more than 2 pins, but let's go and have a look.
You didn't remove those white spaces, David.
I didn't remove white spaces. No, the white spaces are only straight after the quote marks and straight in front of the last quote mark.
Yeah, but you still have gone on to a new line.
Yes, I have. Well, let's see what we ended up with. Let's go back. Here, you mean, Monet?
Yes.
Like that?
Yes.
Are you happier now?
Yep.
Good. Because we like to make everybody happy. So we'll update it, take a look at it. But like I said, setting it up initially, okay, obviously takes time. You've seen how long I've been playing about with this right now. So we wait for it to come up. Let's go and have a look if we get driving directions, because we're supposed to get one. Okay. Well, I've finally got 5 pins, all called A.
Okay.
That's the first time I've had that.
Yeah, previously it wouldn't even do that. Yeah,
No.
I think that little shortcode is a bit buggy.
I think it's a bit buggy, all right? But these ones are coming from 5 locations, obviously. Okay. And they're going to my final destination, which is the company, yeah, with the company address. But where's the driving directions? Yeah. I mean, there's loads here. But I haven't. Where am I supposed to click on here? Let me click this and see what happens. It just puts another pin in. All right. Well, that's all that does. Okay. So, John, again, I don't know if you've tried it, but I don't get any driving
I
directions.
did, and it came up just like you said. And on the support ticket that they sent back to me, they said they're having a glitch and they're trying to correct that now.
Okay, cool. So that'll be good when they've corrected that glitch. Brilliant. But right now, that doesn't really work for me. I don't see much use for this map area. Okay. Now, the last bit that we haven't done is actually the reviews. Okay. So we're going to do the reviews short code as the last one. Okay. Now, again, you can play about in here. Okay. More pins, less pins. It never gave us more than 2 pins before, Mon, no matter how many pins I said it to. But
Yeah.
it seemed to have done 5 this time, so well done it. Okay. Now for reviews, you need the place ID like I showed you earlier. Let's see if we can go and get the place ID. Hang on, where did we do it? Where did we put that place ID? Oh, we didn't put it in there. Where did we put the place ID? Place ID. There we go. There we go. So this is where you're going to find your place ID. Okay. Now, obviously, I don't want dump my junk right now. Okay. I want the one which is relevant to the page I'm working on. Again, I've lost the bloody relevant page. That's the problem. Okay. So we got our information. That's what dump my junk. We don't want dump my junk. We want Long Island limo. Long Island paste place ID. Okay, let's see if we can find something. Let's see if I can find something with the address we just added. That'd be cool. Let's see if we can find it. Place ID. Paste. Okay, so it's gone and found it. And it's saying the place ID is here. Yeah, but really we want Long Island limo. I wonder if it's got Long Island limo. I wonder if it'll pick up the right one. I'm going to say either of those 2 are the same ones because I know they do wine tours. So let's pick that one. Okay, so we'll pick this place ID and see if they've got any reviews. We'll copy that. Go back to play with this. Here's the place ID. You have to place it between these 2 here. Okay, and you got to get the latitude and longitude. So again, I'm going to go and find that. And stick it in my maps. Did it find it? Did it? Buggery. Let's go. There we go. And obviously their latitude and longitude is right here. Let's see if they have any reviews. I don't actually know. Does it say? Oh, it says it's got 8 reviews. So it should show us the 5 that the plugin will bring in. So let's put the latitude and longitude in. Okay, all done. Update. Okay. Preview the changes again. And we should have some reviews at the bottom here. And here they are. Okay, and it brings in 5. Okay. So someone was absolutely miffed with them 4 months ago, and people were obviously happier with them a year ago. So someone's just come in and trashed the GMB, really. Okay. So that's what you're going to get out of the plugin. That's all of them. Okay, that's the whole, every single shortcode there is. Okay. And I showed you how we manually take away the neighborhoods and the about us, and we rewrite it. Okay. Now, I'll leave this one like this right now, but I want to show you another one that we did yesterday. And through not using certain sections of the plugin or the shortcodes, we started getting better looking results. I showed these to you yesterday, John, didn't I? Oh, John's disappeared. Has everybody disappeared?
I'm muted because my dog was barking.
Ah, okay. So this is the one we performed yesterday. Okay, you can see this was actually to do with Tampa. We found the neighborhoods out. Okay, and then we put the reviews in. Okay, and then we did the things to do in Tampa. Okay, now again, we could have tweaked this to actually find things local to West Park. Yeah, we could have found things local to there and put that in. But this is what we're using it for. We do our own manual driving directions at the moment until the plugin actually works. Okay, because it's not working for that at the moment. So we're doing our own manual ones. Brings in the reviews, perfectly okay, no problem with that. And the things to do in Tampa, perfectly okay. And this is another manual one that we did. Okay. So this is how you can use the plugin, play with the plugin, okay? How to manipulate the shortcodes to get more and more accurate to the content that's inside your article. Yes?
Did you not say that you were going to show the results of that?
The results
Or-
of what?
Of the effect of what you did on that listing, or were you just showing us the actual page?
What on this one? I was just
Yeah.
showing you the page to show you how
Oh,
we,
right. Sorry, I thought-
we manipulated things. Okay.
I thought you said it was already making an effect on your rankings.
Oh, to be honest with you, if we do anything, okay, if we do anything, let's see, let's get a nice private window going.
Yeah,
Okay,
maybe
so
I just misunderstood.
no,
what
for
you
that
said
particular one, we only messed with that yesterday. And to be honest with you, I don't think Google even knows about the site yet. But
Oh,
if
okay,
we
right,
put in
right.
something like junk removal, West Park. Now I've got to put Tampa in. You guys might not have to, but my IP is coming out of the UK. So if I put this in Google, let's see what we get. Okay, we get an ad. Okay. And to be honest with you, earlier today I checked it. Let's have a look at the view all on these. See if they okay. Well, this is the dump my junk. Okay, they're just outside right now. Earlier on, they were inside at number 3. It depends what time of bloody day you do and what they actually do at the time. But yes, it was showing there. If we check it with the Tampa IP, it's actually there at number 1. Okay, so this is just roughly out of here. So YouTube video, the video that's actually inside that article. This one. Okay, so that definitely ranks in Google quite well. That's why we always tell people, look, go to YouTube first, please. Okay, because it'll keep you tied over until one of your articles really cooks with Google. Okay, so this is actually one of our sites, one of our buffer sites, to be honest with you. Okay, right here. So we're in the top 10 in Google already. Did we catch anything else? Yeah, that's another one of ours. And Marsham Lodge is another one of ours. So we've got a couple of places plus a video in the top 10 for that term at the moment. If I was going to try and really rank it, I don't, because I offer a syndication network. So our buffer sites sometimes take it over. But if we do silly things like, okay, now I've mentioned this before to people, okay, 30% of the market for search in the US is actually Bing. Okay, so let's go and check Bing for it. And in Bing, we get an ad, we get a second ad. Then we get a mover. Okay, these are all ads so far. These top 4 are ads. Then you get your little 2, 3, 4, 5 pack that Bing throw out. And then we occupy number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4 out of 7 on the Bing page. And then another one that people like to use, and I do try and check it, is DuckDuckGo, because DuckDuckGo will give you an indication of where it's going with Google later on. So we'll do the same thing. Come on, DuckDuckGo. No, we don't want stuff in the United Kingdom, that's for sure. So we'll go worldwide. So we occupy on DuckDuckGo. They've got a little 2-pack. They've got it in theirs. Okay. So we occupy number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. 6 is not ours. 7 is ours. 8 is not ours. We're well above Yellow Pages for that. And we actually get a link through Blogorama through another one of our network sites that actually belongs to HiveAge, and it comes through the Blogorama. So we command DuckDuckGo quite easily. Okay, Bing, we more or less cover stuff. Google, they would need to be more work, but like I said, I don't really do that. Okay, because I don't have a client that's doing either limo services or junk removal or whatever it is, but some of our members do, and I like to help them get to where they want to go. But a lot of the time, and I've said this to other people, and I'm going to say it to anyone, okay, if you have not got your, let's say, client site / money site, okay, set up pretty much exactly like I've showed you on the articles this evening. If you don't have that on your money site, on your client site, okay, and then you start throwing links to it, it ain't gonna make a jack bit of difference. Okay. And that's why for things like the junk removal in Tampa, okay, the actual client site doesn't rank, but we do with buffer sites in the top 10. And that's without even trying. We're not even trying to rank. We want the client, but the client has not listened to the information given to them for them to rank in that location in Tampa. They haven't done it. Now, is that our fault? No. We've provided a service. We've provided the links for them. And yes, we try and get, additional real estate on Google SERPs as we can. So if I can take up number 3 and number 4 and number 7, okay, it's down to them to pull their fingers out of their backsides and get their own site up there, because we can do it. Why can't you?